हाय फोक्स। बहुत लोगों को लगता है कि एमबीए जो है वो प्रोग्राम ज्वाइन करने के बाद आपको मेहनत करना होता है, बट दिस दिस वन कॉमन मिसकंसेप्शन। लेट मी क्लैरिफाई इट। एमबीए इज अ रेस दैट बिगिंस बिफोर द स्टार्ट लाइन. So here are 10 things that you should do before joining your MBA program so that you are ahead of your peers in the program that you're joining. 10 things. My name is Amit Surana. I am your DILR expert with over 10 years of experience, and this video is going to help you understand what should you do to utilize the gap that you have before your joining date. Point number 10, we're going to start with knowing your B school. Now, it is very important that you know what B school you're going to. When I say knowing your B school, it's just not the name, right? A B school has its own legacy. So you need to learn and understand it. You need to know the present of it, what is going on, who are the important members, who will be your faculty members. But you should also know what the past of the B school is. Who are the alumni who've passed out through it? Are there any big names that you should know about? And you should also be learning and reading about the future of the B school that you're joining. आपको ये पता होना चाहिए कि ये बी स्कूल किस डायरेक्शन में जा रहा है. Would you have to gain from where the B school is going, right? So it is a give and take policy. You need to know everything about your B school. And how would you do that? Go to the internet, do some search. You have to research, you have to talk to people regarding this, right? Point number 9, you need to learn the basics of MBA. When I say basics of MBA, I mean the subjects that you will be facing in your first year or second year when you take up your specialization. So I'm talking about some standard subjects like accounts or finance or economics. Or if you're getting into marketing, then you should know the basics of marketing, some very commonly used rules, some very commonly used jargons you should be aware of. If you're taking up something in specific, let's say, I don't know, over the top aviation, let's say aviation management, if you're getting into that, then you should know the basics of how things run and what are to be taken care of. Because the day you join, right, from the day you join, MBA is not going to be a spoon feeding thing. Maybe in our school, maybe in our UG, it was like that कि हमें सब दे दिया जाता था कि ये करो वो करो. But when you join your MBA, it is going to be survival of the fittest, है ना? So you need to be ahead of them. You need to prepare your game before you join there, right? So these are some of the things that you should do, and you should utilize the time that you have between the joining period. Next, when you come to point number 8, it is learn important tools. Now, why am I saying that? What tools are we talking about? Are we getting into carpentry? Nahi. I am talking about the important ones, but very frequently used tools. In more specific, I'm talking about tools like MS Excel. Now, please understand, any MBA that you will be taking, whatever stream that you will be choosing, you will be using MS Excel one way or the other. From something as basic as keeping a journal, keeping a track of accounts, or even making your own schedule and planner, you will be using MS Excel, right? And I'm not even getting into the advanced usage of it. I'm talking about learning the basics. At least learn the basics, get comfortable with the interface, know which function to use where, know what would happen if you use the wrong function. Try out. There are a lot of courses available for free also online. You can go check them out. The next thing you should be comfortable with is using PowerPoint. Now, I understand, sir, ये क्या PowerPoint का हम क्या करने वाले? You will be taking up a lot of presentations as well, right? And one of the best known tools for presentation is MS Office ka Microsoft PowerPoint. Now, these are the basic ones. Yes, there are advanced tools available. There are AI integrated tools also available, but I'm not even talking about them because they might take a longer duration for you to learn. This is something that you might be familiar with, and it will become easy for you to use it, right? Now, one of the alternatives of Excel and PowerPoint comes under something called your G Suite, right? In which you have your sheets, you have your Google Slides, right? You have Google Docs, you have Drive. You should be aware how to use Drive because you will be sharing a lot of projects also. अगर आप अपने peers के साथ कोई project share कर रहे हैं and you don't know how to do that, that's going to be it is going to take you a long time getting accustomed to it, right? And using the calendar in the right way, these are some things that you should be super comfortable with. So these are all basic tools, but you should be aware, you should be comfortable, it should be a part of your process when you get prepared for your MBA. Now, these are the standard ones, these are the basic ones. Now, one other tool that may not be very useful for you, but you might have to. So let's say if you are a part of some club, if you are a part of some particular group in your B school, if you're planning on joining it, then you might have to use your designing tool as well. So one of the examples for the designing tool is Canva. These are the basic ones. If you are already comfortable with them, then you can always go ahead and learn the advanced versions of the same, or you can learn some other tools that will help you with your MBA. All right, so these are the basic ones. Point number 7, short-term certification. Now, sir, what certification? I'm already working towards one of the biggest certifications that I can get, right? I'm working towards getting a degree. What certifications could help me? Now, this is a misconception कि MBA कर लिया तो अपने आप सब कुछ हो जाएगा, बस यही हमारा एंड गेम है. नॉट रियली, राइट? क्योंकि MBA भी ऐसा नहीं है कि आपके प्रोग्राम में जस्ट सेलेक्टेड 5-10 पीपल ही हैं. नो, there are hundreds of people who join the program. There are hundreds of people who are going to compete against you, and how will you have an edge over them, right? Why would, let's say if I have 2 candidates, I'm a recruiter, if I have 2 candidates with the same academics, with similar academics, let's say, and they are eligible for the job, they have very similar accolades, how am I going to know which one to choose, right? So one of the best ways you can do is take up some short-term certification. Now, why should you do it now, sir? अभी करना जरूरी है क्या? अभी थोड़ा chill करते हैं, मजा मस्ती करते हैं. Obviously, yes, you can, because you've struggled real hard to get your cracked. You've struggled real hard to get into your PI and GD. I understand that, yes. But will you have time during your MBA program? The answer for that is no. You will not have time to do anything apart from the tasks that you've been handed, right? And if you are not prepared beforehand, if you've not utilized the time that you have right now, you may not find it, and later you might regret, or you might have to take a break and then take up a 6-month, 8-month program then. Might as well do it now. Abhi se agar aap start karte ho, even now if you start researching and join one of the short-term certifications, the reason why I'm saying short-term is because you have a short duration only, right? So take up one of these certifications and get used to it, right? I'll give you some examples. Now, these are not, this is not a paid promotion, and I'm not endorsing anything. I'm just giving you some examples from the top of the head. So if you're planning on getting into finance, if finance is your arena and you want to get into that, one of the top ones you can do is CFA, Chartered Financial Analyst, right? CFA comes in 3 levels. You have to write exams, right? And you have to book a slot. Pretty expensive as well. But CFA, any MBA grad who's done a CFA, even level 1, will have an upper hand compared to others, right? You don't even have to do a CS, you don't even have to do a CA or something, but if you have a CFA, that gives you an upper hand, especially if you're planning on getting into investment banking. Yes. Then we have your certification in risk management, if you're planning on choosing risk management as your arena. Financial modeling hai, research analysis hai. So these are some of, so I'm not mentioned which institute they are from, that I leave up to you, right? You go ahead, do the research, figure out what matches your future goals, right? आपके जो भी goals हैं, आगे क्या करने का आपने सोचा, उसको, उसके matching, उसके complementary आपको क्या मिल रहा है, choose that if you're planning on getting into finance. Now, if you're planning on getting into HR, you have your standard HR analytics pay course, enterprise resource planning, human capital management, that is your HCM, and then you have strategic human resource management, that is SHRM, right? There are obviously a lot of institutes that do that online as well. So go pick up, choose one, figure out, do the research, do the homework. These are just some examples. And if you're planning on choosing marketing, let's say, sir, marketing, I want to pursue a career in marketing, then these are some of the ones that you can choose. So you can choose project management, professional certification. This is if you want to get into project management. You can choose digital marketing certifications if you want to choose digital marketing as one of your areas. Or if you have, let's say, even if you have interest in learning about digital marketing, you need to. So digital marketing is way beyond just posting on Instagram, right? So you need to learn the ins and outs. You need to understand the strategy behind, putting random post, or what other areas are there, what things that you should keep in mind, for example, tags, right? And then you have your Google Analytics individual qualification, Google Analytics. You have your Google AdWords. You need to know SEO, right? Search engine optimization. All of that would be a part of these, right? So you can go do some research, figure out if you want to be a part of marketing, if you want to choose marketing as your career, then these are some of them. And if you want to get into operations, then you have your Six Sigma certification, which is one of the most common, most frequently, taken up certification. A lot of people take it up after MBA. A lot of people do it after becoming a part of some organization. But why wait if you have the time, right? And then you have your supply chain professional, certified supply chain professional certificate, where here, if you want to choose supply chain management as your career, then this would be it. Certified in production and inventory management. If you want to get into inventory management, then this is what you would do. Here, these are just some examples. I'll give you some time to go through them. Just some examples. You can take a screenshot of it and, go do some research. These are a few, right? So I mentioned like what, 4 or 3 or 4 of them. There are many more, and there are so many platforms that can give you these certifications. Mind you, it is not necessary for you to have a certificate at the end of the day, but being certified from an institute, having a certification, will give you credibility, right? Otherwise, it's just he said, she said, right? I can come and tell you I am certified in this, but then what's the proof, right? I either give you time to prove that you know, which nobody has. So this is going to act as that, gap filler. Ye bridge ban jayega, that you don't really have to prove that you already know it, right? Because there's some a documented piece of paper that tells you that you are. Yes, so that's the purpose behind doing a certification. And mind you guys, I would recommend you to choose something short term and not long term, because that commitment is going to that may not be the right choice for you, because the moment you join MBA, वहां पे आपका timing कैसा है? How are you going? Are you finding time during the day, during the night? Are you finding time during the weekends? Because you have to keep up, right? This is especially for people जिनको जो stream में जाना है, and then they've not been through there, right? For example, अगर आपको whatever, even if you start, right, the first year is going to be common, है ना? So you need to get accustomed to accounts. You need to get accustomed to terms used in economics. You need to know the ins and outs of finance, right? तो ये आपको जानना बहुत जरूरी है. That means you're going to have to spend time for that also, and this is for you to secure your future. Yes. Point number 6, networking with alumni and your peers. Why is it important? Why? The major reason why you should be doing an MBA is networking, right? Otherwise, what's the point staying in a, let's say a stranger city, going and staying in the hostel, spending 2 years and obviously lots of money. If at the end of the day, just the piece of paper, a degree is all that you carry, you can do one of the courses. You can pursue an online MBA as well, right? What's the main reason behind doing this is you get to network with people, right? And at the end of the day, your alumni status means nothing if you don't have the right people for it. Yeah. So if you are planning on becoming an alumnus of one of the top institutions, then you need to know people, right? But what kind of people will you be knowing? I'm talking about alumni, people who've already graduated, people who are already representing that B school. How are you going to find them? How are you going to connect with them? One of the best tools that you have is LinkedIn, right? Go on LinkedIn. All you have to do is hit the name of the B school that you're joining or you're planning on joining. You'll get a list of people who've been there. All you have to do is send them a connection request, send them a message, be very polite, say that you want to talk, you want to get acquainted with them. You need to understand how the B school works. The main reason why you should actually connect with alumni is so that you know how it works, right? Because you've not been there, and you need to know who has already been there. जो already वहां पे रह चुके हैं, सह चुके हैं, उनसे अगर आप पूछोगे तो they'll give you better information than just hitting, going randomly on internet, right? Apart from that, you can also go search on Quora, because a lot of alumni from top B schools are on Quora and are answering questions. So वहां से भी आपको information मिल जाएगी. But this is going to be first-hand information. You're directly getting it from them. Why should you connect with your peers, sir? वहां जाके 2 साल यही तो करना है. अभी करके क्या ही मतलब है? इतना जल्दबाजी क्यों करना है? You need to know who you're going to spend the 2 years with. Yes, आपको पता रहना चाहिए, पहले से पता रहना चाहिए कि what common do you have. Yeah, क्योंकि the moment you join there, everybody is eager on meeting everyone, right? वहां पे उतना टाइम शायद ना मिल पाएगा on knowing each other. So this is going to be one of the best platforms to do it. कैसे पता चलेगा सर पियर्स? पीपल विल स्टार्ट पुटिंग, ट्रस्ट मी, अगर किसी टॉप बी स्कूल से उनको कॉल आता है एंड दे गेट सेलेक्टेड एंड दे आर ज्वाइनिंग अ प्रोग्राम, दे विल वेरी प्राउडली पुट इट ऑन देयर प्रोफाइल सेइंग दैट 2024-26 का बैच में ये प्रोग्राम मैं कर रहा हूं इस बी स्कूल में, राइट? So this is how you can find them. Maybe this is a little too early right now, but over the time, right, a couple of months, once your list start coming in, selection list start coming in, then you can start searching for peers. But for alumni, you can definitely start doing it right now. अच्छा, जिनके पास already profile नहीं है, please profile बनाओ. LinkedIn is one of the most frequently visited social networking websites or apps. For professionals, yes, for specifically for professionals, this is one of those places where you can showcase what you've already done, you can showcase what you are doing, you can talk about what you are planning on doing. You can connect with people who are like-minded, you can also connect with people who have the same vision, right? Why? Obviously, at the end of the day, if you're planning on, starting something of your own, you will need the right people. And what better place than this? Yes, so go ahead, check out other people's profiles, देखो क्या आप में common है, reach out to them, don't be rude, reach out to them, be polite enough to ask for their permission so that you can connect and talk about what you have in mind, right? So this is one of the other things, and इसके लिए आपको अलग से time निकालने की जरूरत नहीं है, you can do it anytime during the day, but please create a LinkedIn profile. Create a professionally looking LinkedIn profile that talks about you as a professional, nothing personal there. Yes, uske liye Instagram hai. Next, what you can do with your time is volunteer or intern or work somewhere. Now, sir, इतने से टाइम में क्या क्या ही कर लेंगे? I understand. If you've already volunteered somewhere, that's good. If you've already worked with some people, if you've already interned with some people, that's good. If you already have that, then that's fine. But for people who are freshers, and I'm talking about proper freshers, के sir, घर से college, college से घर, बस इतना ही हमारा हुआ करता था. Apart from that, I have not done any other प्रोफेशनल कैपेसिटी में कहीं पर भी वर्क नहीं किया है, देन इन दैट केस यू शुड बी डूइंग इट, बिकॉज एट द एंड ऑफ द डे इट एड्स वैल्यू टू योर प्रोफाइल, है ना? ये करने से आपके प्रोफाइल में और वेट पड़ेगा और वैल्यू पड़ेगा. एट द सेम टाइम यू विल हैव द राइट नेटवर्क्स. Yes, this is very important. Having the right network, having the right people to help you out around is very, very important. So you can join any NGO, yes, that either resonates with your vision or that adds value to your profile. Volunteering may not get you paid, but will give you enough exposure to try out different things, right? You can join in as an intern. One of the places where you can go search for upcoming internships would be Internshala. This is just one of the other platforms जहाँ पे internship का requirement post किया जाता है, and you can also post that you are looking for interning somewhere. Again, these may not pay you well, but it will at least pay you enough to take care of your expenses. At the same time, it will give you enough experience and exposure, which at the end of the day is way more important than the money that they pay you. And if you can work. You can work for a short period of time. You should obviously disclose it to them that you're going to work only till your MBA starts. And you can part-time after your MBA program begins, but then you can work at a full-time capacity or even a part-time capacity for that matter. Yes. One of the other places where you can actually work, and people are also looking for fresh minds, are startups, right? Maybe corporates will not take you when you tell them you're only going to stay there for 6 or 8 months. They may not accept it, right? कि यार 6 महीने के बाद वापस किसी और को ढूंढो. But startups, I don't think work like that, right? Startups require dynamic minds. Startup requires fresh minds as well. So you can go check them out. You can go search for some. You can again use LinkedIn as well for that. That's point number 5. Point number 4 is knowing current affairs. Now, this is very important because when you enter a place, you need to know about that place. At the same time, you need to know what's going on, what has happened, and what you could predict. Apart from that, just knowing about your surroundings, knowing about what's happening in your country, around your country, is very, very important, especially if we are talking about learning about the economics, right? Learning about the economics of the country, learning about the economic health of the world, it is very important, because you are going to, this is going to go hand in hand with you, right? So you need to know what new is happening, और what new revelations have come from what has already happened. जो पहले हो चुका है उसके बारे में कोई अपडेट आया है, नहीं आया है. I know a lot of you would have already started reading papers, because obviously you would be preparing for your GD and for your PI, and you will be, one of the first things that people tell you is current affairs पे ध्यान दो, right? तो वो तो आप already कर ही रहे होगे, I know, but now you should be more focused on the kind of stream that you're choosing, right, around that. So go through some economic news, go through local news of the place that you are from and that you are going to go for your program, and obviously know about world news. At the end of the day, you can pick up any news that you are interested in also, right? ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ economics ही पढ़ो बाकी सारे news छोड़ दे, not really, right? If you're interested in sports, go ahead, do that, because a lot of times this happen is you and your peers, you and your professors also kind of have an intersection based on a common personal interest. Yes, if you are a sports buff, cricket news, tennis news, chess news, go for it, right? Already interest hai aap mein, knowing more about it, knowing the technicality of it would even add to it, right? So be aware of current affairs, know what is going on, what new technological advancements have come. Is AI going to choose? Nahin. Itna nahi, right? But you need to know what's happening, right? Any new advancements that are happening, आपको पता होना चाहिए, because you have to be prepared for your future 2 years down the line. ठीक है? And which company is getting bankrupted? No. Which company, is facing what, is doing what new steps? All of that you should be aware of. The third thing is research potential companies. When I say potential, what do I mean? Companies that have higher chances of hiring you. This includes companies that come on placement, on campus placement, right? ये आपको कैसे पता चलेगा? You can go check out the official website of any B school. They will also very proudly tell you कि इतना placement हुआ है, इस company से हमारा association है, and so on, right? So research potential companies, figure out is there a place for you 2 years down the line, 1 year down the line, क्योंकि usually summer placements चालू हो जाते हैं, right? In your first year itself summer placements चालू हो जाते हैं. So you need to know what companies come on campus. ज़रूरी नहीं है कि आप on campus companies में ही join करें. You can also try off campus as well where recruitment happens. You need to know कि वो किस capacity में recruit करते हैं. जो वहाँ पे जा रहे हैं, are they sustaining there, staying there, are their goals being met? ये सब कुछ आप कर सकते हो by researching about it, right? And again, one of the best places to do that would be on LinkedIn, and you need to research on what kind of people they are hiring, right? So that you can work towards it. अगर आपका dream, obviously dream B school है, तो dream company भी अब तक तो हो ही चुका होगा, right? So you need to start researching about that company, finding out is this the kind of role that they're looking for? What is it that they're looking within the candidate? ये सब, these are the things that you can develop as a student, as a candidate, as a person during your MBA also, है ना? तो research करके रखो, पता करके रखो कि क्या है क्या नहीं है about a company, so that at the end of the day वो आपको choose करेंगे. Yes, that's one thing, but you could also be the one who chooses the company, right? No, this doesn't match with my goals, so I would not be opting for this organization. Simple as that. This may not apply for people who are planning on starting something of their own, but you should also do this because you need to know who your competition is going to be. Is there somebody who's already done this particular task? ये service, ये product क्या already present है market में, and you are not aware of it, because a lot of times there are so many things जो चल रहा है but आपको नहीं पता होता, because obviously of the distance, right? तो एक किसी दुनिया के किसी कंट्री के कॉर्नर में या अपने खुद के कंट्री के किसी और सिटी के कॉर्नर में ये चल रहा होता है, एंड यू मे नॉट बी अवेयर ऑफ इट. सो यू नीड टू स्टार्ट रिसर्चिंग पोटेंशियल कंपनीज. द सेकेंड थिंग, अगेन सर इतना सब कुछ प्रोफेशनल लेवल पे कर रहे हैं, पर्सनल लेवल पे कुछ ना करें. सर ऐसा बोला था कि 10th के बाद मौजा मजा है, फिर बोला था 12th के बाद मजा है. यूजी के बाद मजा है, कैट के बाद मजा ही नहीं मिल रहा, सजा ही सजा काट रहे. So yes, this could be a very good time for you to pursue your personal hobbies and interests as well. This would be a time to grow an existing hobby that you have or learn something new. क्योंकि ये बहुत बार होता है कि सर टाइम ही नहीं था, I wanted to do this but टाइम नहीं मिला, I wanted to take this sport up, टाइम नहीं मिला. डोंट वरी, इट्स नेवर टू लेट. वॉट एवर टाइम यू हैव, अगर आप उसके बेसिक्स भी सीख सकते हो, एंड देन देर विल बी स्पोर्ट्स क्लब्स ऑल्सो एट द बी स्कूल दैट यूर टेकिंग अप, राइट? You will have peers who are also interested in that. So you can always pursue personal hobby and personal interest as well. And that is going to help you get acquainted with people, network at the end of the day. Hai na? So be whatever it is, be it sport, be it related to any form of art, be it related to science, because science may not be one of the things that you would be pursuing there at a B school, right? So you can pursue that. Your love for math, you can pursue literally anything that interests you, right? इसीलिए मैंने hobbies and interest भी लिख लिया कि जरूरी नहीं हो कि वो you are pursuing it as a hobby. And a lot of times I have noticed, we have all noticed, that people who start something of their own will always choose something that they're already interested in, right? And if you have an interest and you've pursued it, with the proper intention, then I think you can take that also up, है ना? तो this ये भी आप ulterior motive के साथ ही कर रहे हो, but then with a showing some interest towards it. And the last thing is growing your resume. This is very, very important. Nobody knows who you are as a person as long as you don't portray it, you don't show it, right? Growing your resume does not mean using fancy terms. No. Growing your resume does not mean just using fancy terms. चैट जीपीटी पे डाला, बताओ यार मैंने ना 4 लोगों ने मिलकर थर्मोकॉल का एक मॉडल बनाया था, एक सोलर पैनल बनाया था, उसके बारे में. That's just doing basic thing but then showing it off as something real cool. But what you need to actually be working on is doing something cool, right? When I say cool, I mean cool with respect to your professional arena. So this is a very good time to grow your resume because you will have enough time. You've already done so many things and you can go and achieve more on that also, right? So keep in mind of these 10 things. Don't get overwhelmed. Very, very important. कई लोग overwhelm हो जाते हैं, यार इतनी सारी चीजें करने इतना कम time है. It's okay. Relax. Take up 1 or 2 tasks at a time. Don't take up too many things that you can't handle, है ना? तो एक या 2 काम ले लो. Go do that, pursue that. Because at the end of the day, आप इस gap में जो भी कर रहे हो is going to resonate with what you want to do after your MBA, है ना? So you need to use this time, है ना? ये जो time है, this is a lot of people take up traveling during that time because that's their personal interest. A lot of people join some startup, join some company because that's what they want to do. They want to get some contacts, learn a few things, get exposed. A lot of people take up some other interest or some other hobby during that, take up a new sport, learn it. Or a lot of people take up some short-term certification courses जो उनको आगे help करने वाला है. At the end of the day, whatever you do in these 6 months is going to resonate with whatever you want to do later. तो वो ध्यान में रख के choose. If you have any questions, any queries regarding any of these 10 points or any other thing, drop it in your comments. I'll be more than happy to help you out with that. I hope this video helped you in some way or the other. All the very best, guys. Cheers.